So now we're going to do this pause practice for threes, and it's a four-step process. The first is awareness. So you might want to notice, the first thing to be aware of is you're noticing your tendency to be overly efficient in conversations, almost speeding and rushing when you don't have to. And it's funny because now that I know I'm talking to you, I can almost feel myself wanting to speed through, because I've seen this with threes. Sometimes they start to lose interest if the conversation slows itself. So you also may notice, just speaking really concrete, practical examples that you can just move right on ahead. So just notice that first. Second is to pause. When you start to notice this habit, and slowing down might bring up anxiety because it brings up feelings for you. So when you start to notice that, pause. Shift your attention inside. Drop, even maybe notice how you're sitting forward, bring yourself back. Notice your feelings, the quickness of pace, and just shift your attention inward. Attune to your breath and breathe. And then after you start to kind of connect to your feelings, start to notice the person with whom you're communicating, seeing them as a fleshed out person that you may connect to, rather than, kind of having to speed right through or assert something that you want to say. Soften that kind of go ahead stance that you tend to have. And each time you notice yourself moving in, just breathe yourself in, breathe into your belly instead of your chest, because your breathing tends to be shallow. And then drop it. And notice the expansion of your belly. And just imagine that as you exhale, you're letting go. And then accept. Each time you notice that the pace quickens, that's how you are. Accept it. This is something that's kind of a survival skill. And then pause and come back. And just allow yourself, maybe in conversation, just say, okay, I'm going to allow a third more time. Because your tendency is to always notice what's on the clock. I one time did a presentation and they made collages. And the threes collage, I don't think there was one single three collage without a clock on it. So, work with your need to know time, and just anticipate that, okay, I'm going to stretch this conversation out about a third more. And while you operate with efficiency, this isn't a bad thing. It's unrealistic to expect everybody else to work at the same level of energy. And what happens too is you tend to lose the connection that you really want. So ask questions about the other people too. Listen, be slow, listen more, and pause in the spirit of curiosity, in the spirit of humility. Tell the other person that you appreciate what they've shared. And if you notice yourself rushing, breathe deeply and remember a time when a useless conversation actually made you feel more deeply connected to another person. And from a practical standpoint, many who talk in a less linear way may bring something really creative to the table.